we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud. Shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.
You hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
That's right. Absolutely free. Head over to MyPillow.com, guys. Check it out. They have so many products. American made, America first. We're still fighting cancel culture over here, so you get to help out MyPillow as well as our platform over here at the Oreo Express. So big shout out to MyPillow and Mike Lindell for being a patriot, standing up for what's right. So if you guys are in the business for any of that, you're going to be looking for that, make sure you head over to MyPillow.com and go check out a lot of their products. Welcome back to the afternoon show, guys. We got a lot for you in store. You're going to see a triggered Gavin Newsom. Remember how Gavin Newsom said he was going to take our tax money here in California and Trump-proof California, whatever that meant? That meant they were going to protect illegal aliens, keep your gas prices high, keep your taxes high, keep funneling money to a so-called high-speed train that'll never be built. All these things. Well, it looks like he's a little, Gavin Newsom's a little perturbed because it looks like what's going on in Washington, D.C. will affect us here in California. We're going to talk about that. Also, the terrorist from last night in D.C. has officially been charged. We're going to read some of the charging documents and some of the evidence here in a moment. Absolutely disgusting, cold-blooded, very similar to the Luigi case. It was a political hit job, if you will, a political act of terrorism. And we're going to cover that. We're also going to cover the Make America Healthy Again report, the commission report. We're going to go over some of that and talk about that. We just got a lot in store for you. I don't know. Let me see if somebody's in here. I don't see Jalen in here. Well, I haven't gone through the comments yet. So let me go through the comments. Trina, hello. Susan, Hunter, hello. Rob Wallace, hello. Kimber, JH Candy Bar, KLM 79. Let's see. Texas Bigfoot. See who else we got in here. Going down. That one's not worth mentioning. Matt, First Amendment Media. Jan Garner in the house. Tammy Howard. Thank you guys for joining in. But yeah, I don't see Jay Lynn in here. She sent me a text like for the last 5 days. And make sure you play my favorite episode of The View. Jay Lynn just absolutely loves The View, and we got a little clip of The View today. Let's see. Jay keeps asking. So we're going to get into it, guys. We're going to get into it. It's going to be a fun show. And again, we have a lot to talk about. First off, and the closest thing I could think of is if RW came out with a perfume. This is called Pink Femininity. Peak Femininity. Radiant, intense, and sensual. The woman celebrated by Gaultier is a bright and powerful as the sun, an untamed queen. She radiates unequaled intensity in her new corset, more dazzling than ever. Let your femininity shine through with Gaultier Divine La Parfume, Jean-Paul Gaultier's new fragrance for women. Well, that's crazy because look at who they got advertising, and a mentally ill guy.
I'm
Check
Dylan.
this
I'm
out.
here in the desert in Morocco with Jean-Paul Gaultier's Divine.
Oh, hold on. I was trying to hit the volume.
I'm Dylan. I'm here in the desert in Morocco with Jean-Paul Gaultier's Divine fragrance. This is a camel, and I'm going to ride it now. Okay. Arch that back, girl. Woo! Ooh. I think it smells a little. I think we might need some Divine by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Oh, I lost the cap. We lost the cap. Will you see if there's a cap down there? Yeah!
Yeah, 4 women. And they have a dude on a camel.
Yes! Those are my girls. We're in the brat pit together. Brat pit. Or sweat tour? No, brat.
I'ma make you work, make you work, make you work.
I want to go ahead and end that a little early. So that is for a woman's perfume, according to the ad. I just don't know what these companies are doing or what they're thinking. If I would love to do maybe we'll do that interview on the street. We'll bring the iPad and we'll ask women, does this make you want to buy this perfume? I mean, I'm sure in some areas like those white liberals that we see at Tesla dealerships that just want to do everything not normal and not common. Maybe it'll do something to them. I don't know, but that's just crazy. And guys, I didn't add this earlier, and I wanted to, speaking of people like Dylan Mulvaney. But we had the big, beautiful bill has passed the House. It's on its way to the Senate. We'll see how it works out there. But the tax bill passed by the House would bar, this is why Democrats are crying too, Medicaid coverage for all transgender care and prohibit plans offered under the Affordable Care Act's exchange from covering such care as an essential health benefit. It is an essential. If anything, the trans care we should have is, and I'm not going to say a lobotomy, but we should have mental health, right? Mental health help for these people that think they can change God's creation. So that was another interesting tidbit we left out. And now, you guys remember that guy? What was it? When we went to that first Dublin protest, who these boots are made for stomping. And he tried to threaten me. Well, this must be his twin brother. I love to run into this little faggot. Take a look.
So I guess it's all good to wear one of them red hats in federal buildings and wherever. Do you think that will protect you if you're wearing that hat? There is consequences and repercussions for doing stupid shit. If I see one of them red hats, I'm going to put my hands on it. I'm already 2-0. I'm already 2-0 against a couple red hats. So when I say I'm going to do it, check this out. I mean, I promise you. I promise you I'll do it. And you won't stand a chance. I'm very good at what I do. I wasn't blessed with a whole lot of other skills or intelligence,
Obviously.
but getting down one-on-one with human beings, I'm good at.
I guarantee this guy sits in his bathroom late at night all alone with pictures of Dylan Mulvaney. I'll put money on it. I love these little cowards that come out.
So I guess it's
behind
all
their
good.
keyboard and just run their mouth. Yet, you know what? There's plenty of places you can go where there's plenty of red hats, and we haven't seen you there. I would love that. He said he retired in 2019. He'll retire in 2025 from going out to protests. Just the mental illness of the left because of a hat you wear. You know what? You don't hear me threatening people saying, oh, somebody has a Biden sticker. You know what I do? I laugh. I point and laugh. I don't confront them. I don't do anything. I point over to Rachel. Dang, they do exist. That's about it, because I'm not insecure in all my ways. I go out, I cover things. I don't even start problems at all. And then you have these little insecure cucks. That's what they're called, insecure cucks, and they go online so they can get some views and stuff. And I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny. Now here's for the we're gonna call this section section. Not in a grocery store. This segment, the Jaylen segment, because she loves The View so much. Yesterday, Donald Trump had the South African president, and one of his concerns is the genocide or the killing of white farmers over there. The South African president just said last week, after we allowed an entire 59 white farmers into the country, in a refugee program, that they were cowards. That's what they were, the white farmers, after they already passed a law in South Africa in that part that says they can pretty much what we would call take your land, not pay you anything for your land. It's a form of reparations, I guess you could say. And so Trump called them out. Trump showed the actual videos of these people, 20, 30,000 people in a stadium chanting that they were going to kill the white farmer and all this stuff. And I think the keyword, what was the keyword? Keyword yesterday that came out, the talking points, you can go through CBS, NBC, CNN, they all use the term ambush. I want you to listen to this right here. This is just hilarious, man. You knew Whoopi would be racist if it had to do with white folks. Take a listen.
So, South African President Ramaphosa paid a visit to the White House yesterday, which turned into a surprise presentation on conspiracy theories of a white genocide in his country. Take a look.
We have many people that feel they're being persecuted and they're coming to the United States. And we take from many locations, if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on, we do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is quite
Nothing happens to them.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The farmers are black. The farmers are not black.
We have
I don't
now-
say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black.
My God! So between ambushing Zelensky
There's that word, ambushing.
and this, why would world leaders continue to come to the White House?
Okay, well, first of all, this is the problem with getting all your information from Laura Loomer and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Shout out to Laura Loomer and Elon Musk for getting that shot out there on The View.
Because this is what they're going to deal you. And it was false conspiracy theory. One, the fact that the president of South Africa was trying to share was that data collected by white farmers themselves.
They're triggered, guys. They're triggered. I thought they were against genocide. I guess not. Not as long as you're a white. We got a Rumble rant right here. You know, Josh, I got matching rainbow shirts for you and Matt's trip. You know what? Hey, as long as they match his penny loafers, we're good to go. We're good to go. He was already complaining today. I talked to Matt earlier. I got home from the gym and Matt calls and he's like, man, I want to switch from my penny loafers to these moccasin slippers. But I don't want to mess up my pedicure if things go, south when we're out there on the DC mall, if there's protesters. I was like, Matt, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Poor Matt. He gets it, man. Oh, speaking about nuking fake news, listen to the press secretary earlier this morning. And we got a couple things of the press secretary in different segments of our show today, not sections of our show, segments of our show.
Let's line of questioning.
Listen to this.
The president showed a video that he said showed more than 1,000 burial sites of white South Africans that he said were murdered. We know that that was not true and that the video wasn't showing that. So I wonder, why did the president choose to show that? What's not true, Yamiche? It's not true that the video was showing a burial site. It is unsubstantiated that that's the case.
No, it is true that that video showed the crosses that represent
what the president claimed.
The video showed images of crosses in South Africa about white farmers who have been killed and politically persecuted because of the color of their skin. And those crosses are representing their lives. Those crosses are representing their lives in the fact that they are now dead and their government did nothing about it. Are you disputing that there's no...
The video showed what the president claimed it showed because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
No, it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
The videos that the president shows and what protocols are in place when there's unsubstantiated information being put out for the world and world leaders.
Yamiche, what's unsubstantiated about the video? The video shows crosses that represent the dead bodies of people who were racially persecuted by their government. In fact, the Associated Press, of all places, has a picture of that very monument. And the caption from the Associated Press is, "Each cross marks a white farmer who has been killed in a farm murder." So it is substantiated, not just by that video and the physical evidence that everybody saw on display in the Oval Office, but also by another outlet in this room, the Associated Press. So you should take it up with them if you believe the claim is unsubstantiated. And that's a ridiculous lie.
I just love her, man. Beauty, brains, talent, all in one. Donald Trump knows how to pick them. It's just, if you guys remember, and we covered the day that those 59 white farmers came into the United States holding American flags, smiling. They didn't have Venezuelan flags. They didn't say F the Border Patrol or F the police. No, they're coming here to, and I promise you, those people will be much more successful than the people Biden let in. They will work hard. They will honor this country. They will pledge allegiance to this country. And Democrats just lost their damn minds. There's no other way to explain it. There is no other way to explaining. Now we had some other breaking news. What do we got here? Matt says, I can identify as Native American, Josh. Don't judge me, you fascist. Man, those are some harsh words. Though, Matt, hey, I should have never brought up the pedicure. Hey, bro, just wanted to let you know to keep up the grind. You are awesome hype, dude. The twin bro and I were so excited to meet you at Coachella. Stay positive, stay humble, be rumble. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. Appreciate it. We're going to be, you don't want to miss it. We're going to be going to DC on the 14th of June. And we're actually going to talk about that a little today for the military parade. Matt was sending me some text earlier while I was prepping for the show, talking about all the military equipment that's going to be there. Donald Trump doing some stuff while we're there. So it's going to be pretty epic. But I thank you for that Rumble rant. We appreciate you guys. So the Trump administration bars Harvard from enrolling international students and says thousands of students must transfer. Now, we know Harvard, and we've talked about Harvard before in the past. We've talked about their endowment. We've talked about how much foreign money a United States college gets. We talked about the percentage of students that come from outside the United States. We also talked about over the last couple years the ideology that they accept on their campuses. And I'm not talking about free speech. Everybody has that right to free speech. But when you are barring people from walking onto their campus because of either their skin color or because of where they're from or their religious views, that's kind of a bad thing. Trump gave them all plenty of warning. He gave them warning before he was even inaugurated on January 20th of this year. And so now, listen to this, and Democrats aren't happy. Oh, this is, this is illegal. This is that. No, it's not illegal. It's not anything. And we're going to talk about what a judge did too. Oh, that was in the wrong spot. So we're gonna talk about that here in a minute. I got some more wokeness before we get into business. Damn it. Let me see where that's supposed to go. You know what? I'm just gonna close it because I got a whole nother one for it. So ignore I said anything there. Back up. Cut. Oh man. So on my title it says DEI responsible for the death of 5. And over the last 3-4 weeks, there's been tornadoes, there's been floods, all the things that are natural disasters, not caused by humans, that we've seen for my entire lifetime, your entire lifetime, the lifetime of this country. They've been around since the earth flooded and God made his covenant to the earth. And so I've been seeing this, and these people that are paid by the DNC and by the Democrat Party to spew propaganda say, oh, this place flooded and the people didn't get warning because of Trump's cuts, where people are going to be dying. We're supposed to have a severe hurricane season, and because Trump pretty much cut out the DEI, and then when a natural disaster happens, and FEMA's not there in 38 seconds, they're saying that's because Trump and his cuts. Has nothing to do with any of that. We actually showed you firsthand while we were in North Carolina back in Hurricane Helene. We went to North Carolina. We showed you on the ground. We showed you it was communities. It was the faith-based area, the churches that were coming out. You didn't see big military trucks. You didn't see FEMA. They didn't start showing up till day 10. And the only reason they showed up is because of the outrage. Those were Trump voters. Biden didn't care about them. I want you to watch this right here. Take a listen of what DEI has done. Make sure this is the right one. This is crazy.
Team exists to alert the community when severe weather is coming. This office failed to do that in the most horrific and deadly storm that our city has experienced in my lifetime.
St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer says that word of possible tornadoes came Friday afternoon. But the city's emergency officials didn't push the button to sound the outdoor warning sirens because they were out of the office at a workshop.
Now, once you see who is in charge of this office, everything will make sense to you. What's the use of having a button you have to hit if you don't have people manning it 24 hours a day? And guess what? If we're doing something outside the office and oh shit, I can look at weather radar, somebody get back to the office and hit the button. I mean, that's how simple it is. That's how simple it is. Listen to this.
There was human error. There was a failure to do testing. There was a host of things that went wrong here that resulted in the failure to get the emergency management system, the siren system, working that day.
The tornado was a mile wide when it went through residential neighborhoods of St. Louis, packing winds of more than 150 miles an hour. 5 people were killed. These are some of the more than 3,000 buildings damaged, according to the mayor. The tornado hit the ground and carved a path of destruction over 20 miles long.
This cannot happen when a tornado is ripping through our community.
Mayor Spencer put the city's head of emergency management, Sarah Russell, on paid leave and launched an
You don't even have to say anymore. You know, there's pronouns involved.
investigation. Would lives have been saved if those sirens would have sounded?
It's hard to say. The siren system is designed to really alert people outside, and it didn't do that. And, at the end of the day, that was a failure.
This local failure comes at a time when staffing at National Weather Service offices across the country have decreased dramatically and leave warning systems stretched thin.
I can say that if there's a problem there.
Just to let you know, this had nothing to do with any federal response or anything to do with Trump. They just throw that in there because, again, the propaganda news.
We will mobilize immediately again to ensure that the system and the backup system are in place, working and working well.
I've covered wars on 3 continents, and the destruction here reminds me of what I've seen on those front lines, homes and buildings completely destroyed. The mayor tells me the city desperately needs federal aid to repair and rebuild what's estimated to be.
So again, we have a system put in place by a city, operated by a DEI hire, and nothing went as planned. I noticed Democrats aren't tweeting about this. I know Harry's not tweeting about this. Again, 5 people died. 5 people died. Prayers to them and their families. Now, there's always going to be deaths with natural disasters. If there's an earthquake today in California, I think we're pretty safe here in the Central Valley. But if we're in the Bay Area or the big one hits LA or something and we're under a building, boom. If we're sitting over there in Kentucky or Tennessee and a tornado comes by, we could be in the path of destruction. Same thing with a hurricane. That's not trying to dispute that. But this is the SEMA commissioner, whose name is Sarah Russell, who goes by they, them pronouns. This is the one she said is on paid leave right now. I don't know what they mean by they, them, unless she ate her best friend. But this is the they, them Sarah that was responsible and is on paid administrative leave for hitting one button. And again, without taking any accountability, let me get onto this before I show you. July 14, 2022, Sarah Russell decided to change her profile pic. What is that? Is that the non-binary flag? I can't keep up with all the flags they got. I think that's non-binary. I'll double check. I'll double check right now. Yellow, white, purple flag. Let me pull this up. Yellow, white, purple flag. I can't keep up with their pronouns. I can't keep up with their flags. Oh, I didn't even have the cursor there. Yellow, white, purple flag. Non-binary pride flag. Whoa, what was that? Non-binary pride flag, guys. So these are the people that are in charge of your safety. Let's listen to this.
Business hours, unless the need arises, such as what we're.
Again, 5 are dead right now.
The SEMA office is very small, and the majority of the time we work closer to business hours, unless the need arises, such as what we're doing now, or special events. A lot of that work takes us out into the community, so we aren't necessarily in our office space at all times. We do have a very small staff. I have received reports of people that did hear it. I've heard from a lot of people that said they haven't heard it. The SEMA.
So it's a small office, guys. We weren't in the office. No big deal. No big deal. This is the definition of the last decade here in the United States. These are the people that have taken jobs, not based on merit, but based on the ideology and wokeism. This is just crazy. No accountability whatsoever. No accountability whatsoever. It's frustrating, but again, it goes to highlight, because I know there's people that disagree with me politically, that disagree with the things I say, that are starting to wake up just a little. And if you live in St. Louis and you've seen that the they, them is making excuses, and you're probably thinking, maybe DEI isn't the best thing in public safety. We'll just keep it over at Starbucks. And then Starbucks saying, we don't want DEI either. They got to wear a uniform. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Next one. Earlier today, we talked about a judge who issued a ruling that went against Donald Trump and his attempt to shut down the Federal Department of Education, and said that he must rehire all those that have been terminated. Now, I don't think there's going to be a rehiring. I think he's going to take this to the Supreme Court. But Laura Loomer went in and did her investigative work like she usually does. And sometimes we got to understand about these judges. And we've covered a lot of judges and their activist families. You know, a lot of judges that were ruling on shutting down the border or the deportations. You had one, his wife was in charge of a NGO that only focused on illegals and not American citizens. Well, check this out. I want to put this on the screen for you. This is from the Department of Education judge, is what we'll be calling him. Wife of Korean-born Biden-appointed judge Myong-Joon, who just blocked Trump from shutting down the Department of Education, has a wife who uses pronouns and is the principal of a pro-DEI company called Diversity at Workplace. We just seen Diversity at Workplace. Sarah with the they, them pronouns in St. Louis that didn't hit the button because she was out of the office. Says, in yet another example of rogue activist judge engaged in a judicial coup against President Trump and the power of the executive branch, today, Myong-Joon, a Biden-appointed U.S. district judge, think about that, a district judge making a ruling for the entire country. That is insane. Blocked President Trump from shutting down the Department of Education. He also ordered Trump to reinstate over 1,300 employees who were fired from the Department of Education. It says, yes, it says, you'll recall the reason why POTUS wanted to shut down the Department of Education is because he accused it of indoctrinating students with radical ideas like critical race theory, gender ideology, or diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. This resonated with conservative voters concerned about culture shifts in schools, particularly around race, gender, and history education. It said Judge Jones' wife is named Sue Joan. This is what her bio says on the webpage for the diversity company she works for called Diversity at Workplace. She is the principal of the company. She, her, hers, Son Jun, is the principal of Diversity Workplace Consulting Group, LLC, which works with organizations to diversify their workforce and create inclusive, equitable work environments through consultations and training. This is another egregious conflict of interest. Now, we told you this. We were covering during the Biden admin the appointment of some of these judges. And we would see them go into their confirmation hearings and they would ask them questions. And then it was obvious they weren't an impartial judge. They were a rogue activist, a rogue judge that just is an activist. And that's what we're seeing here. Interesting stuff by far. Says this is Sue Joan, the wife of anti-Trump Korean-born judge who just blocked President Trump from shutting down the Department of Education. In this video, she is talking about the importance of DEI. So literally, you have Trump shutting down the Department of Education because of the waste of money, because of the indoctrination of children, and because the pushing of the diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is literally a race-based discrimination. And listen to the judge's wife right here.
Classroom perspectives. Sue John here with another topic in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space. Today, let's focus on the word inclusion. The word inclusion literally means to include people. In other words, bring people into the fold. So the work of inclusion is to minimize barriers and to make people feel as comfortable as possible so they could share their honest thoughts, their ideas, their experiences, their perspectives, and their best selves, whether it's to the classroom, to the workplace, or in society in general. That is the work of inclusion in diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Now, I'm just going to make a prediction here. As people continue to investigate this diversity at workplace, it's a business, but I guarantee it'll have some ties to the government. Either it has done governmental contracts, whether it's with our schools, with something. Somehow your tax dollars has went to feed that. And I'm almost guaranteed Laura Loomer, I haven't checked in a while. I'm sure by tonight she'll come up with something. And I just find that's amazing. But in another breath, this is today, Thursday, May 22nd. The Supreme Court on Thursday said President Donald Trump, now this isn't about this Department of Education, this was about another lawsuit they brought against Trump, doesn't have to rehire senior officials fired from two independent federal labor agencies that enforce worker protections while the officials continue fighting in court to reverse their terminations. It says the officials were taken off the job in early April when Chief Justice John Roberts issued an administrative order to temporarily pause their reinstatement while the full Supreme Court reviewed the matter. The latest decision extends their dismissal, perhaps forever, if the lower courts reviewing the matter don't rule again in their favor. It says this is a significant victory for Trump and his efforts to assert control over federal agencies. He is the chief executive officer. He's the president of the United States. That is what we elected him to do. The ruling is temporary, but shows that the justices are receptive to Trump's claims of vast presidential power over hiring decisions and may side with him if the case returns to the high court. Now, again, this one with the Department of Education, it's not always about beating Trump. It's about delaying Trump. It's about taking resources away from the Trump administration, having the attorneys and everybody working on case after case after case. So that slows down the progress of the Trump administration. You know, they've been coming at I almost said something bad where Pixie would have got me right there. So I'm going to. But no, the Trump administration has been coming fast and furious when it comes to executive orders. We're doing that. I mean, on the first day, think about Trump. We were in D.C. for the inauguration. Executive order, pardon here. I mean, it was just amazing. And Democrats didn't know which end was up. What do we complain about? Hurry. Which one can we say is racist? Which one can we say is killing cancer kids? All these things. It's just absolutely insane. Now, what we talked about earlier, the Harvard thing, because it was out of place for some reason. Secretary Kristi Noem said this administration is holding Harvard accountable for fostering violence, anti-Semitism, and coordinating with the Chinese Communist Party on campus. So again, you got Harvard over here with the CCP. It's a privilege, not a right, for universities to enroll foreign students and benefit from their higher tuition payments to help pad their multi-billion-dollar endowments. Harvard had plenty of opportunity to do the right thing, and it refused. They have lost their student and exchange visitor program certification as a result of their failure to adhere to the law. Let this serve as a warning to all universities and academic institutions across the country. I'm just going to tell you guys, this is what I voted for. Some of this stuff, it was a pipe dream 4 or 5 months ago. It was like, you really think Trump's going to do good, but is he going to get around to all this? I mean, he's already done in 30 days, something near 130 days, more than I thought he would get done in the first 2 years, maybe even 3 years. Every decision he makes, he is sued for. Every decision he makes, it gets delayed. And many of them he is winning in court. And we got a win today on the big, beautiful bill. It wasn't a complete win, but there was things like, guess what? There was no funding for USAID. And those are the things I voted for. Let me give a shout out to JH Candy Bar. Says, Cali folks love you. I love my Cali folks, man. I'm still here fighting the good fight here in Cali, and I thank everybody who supports us from Cali. If I go up north, it's my extended family. If I go down south, it's my extended family, and I appreciate you all here in Cali. But we're going to continue fighting a little longer. I'll give it. I almost fled a couple years ago, and we talk about it a lot. And I still think there's hope, especially when we talk about how triggered Gavin Newsom is because of something that happened today. And you are going to laugh. You remember, he said he was going to Trump-proof California. Well, Trump just Newsom-proofed California, and we're going to get into that. Here is Christy Nome here talking about it on Fox
and they haven't
News.
protected their students. So we have given them multiple on themselves. They have promoted and allowed violent activity on campus. They have allowed anti-Semitism, participation with CCP and Chinese infiltration and influence on their campus, and they haven't protected their students. So we have given them multiple opportunities to share criminal activity with us, backgrounds on these students, to let us conduct the oversight into this program that is our responsibility, and they have refused to do so. So today I sent them a letter that said they will no longer be allowed to participate in this student exchange visitor program, and that's up to 27% of their enrolled students. So it's significant. Any foreign student that wishes to get an education in this country that is attending Harvard and not participating in this criminal activity, they will have to find another university to go to, because Harvard has chosen instead to not protect their students and to allow this kind of violent and discriminatory action continue.
That is so epic. That is such an FAFO moment. Listen, we know Marco Rubio has been doing some excellent work. And we got another court case we're going to talk about that doesn't go quite against this, but it does. And Marco Rubio was on fire over the last couple days on the hearings on Capitol Hill, saying, listen, if we have people from foreign countries attending our colleges and they want to cause chaos on our campus, we're going to revoke their visas. And we have, and there's a lot more we're going to do. I think it sends a loud and clear message that you don't come to the United States to try to destroy our colleges, to try to advocate against Western culture, because we know the West is the best, guys. We know the West. For some reason that triggers the left. I wonder why. I don't know. Now, Bill Malugin. A federal judge, I can't make all this stuff up. A federal judge in California issued a nationwide, he's a California judge. What is he doing issuing a nationwide injunction? That's something the Supreme Court will decide on. A nationwide injunction that'll block the Trump administration from ending legal status for foreign students attending schools in the U.S. while the underlying case is being litigated. Judge Jeffrey White says the government cannot arrest or imprison any of the named plaintiffs in these cases and similarly situated individuals nationwide pending resolution of this proceeding. Now, let me tell you how